Suffering with Taya. We Taya suffering with Taya.
Yes.
To show you will not win under my leadership as President of the Republic of Liberia.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
I am running for President to put an end to your tears and your pains and suffering.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you go to the hospital and be rejected due to lack of money under my presidency.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you go to bed hungry due to the lack of food under my leadership as president.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
Certain ethnic groups feel that second-class citizens in this country under my presidency.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
My sister, we Taya suffering. Stealing a tumor in the government. We Taya suffering.
Can you our people nothing coming out of it? So much in the government here. We
No, I will not equal with him. The president feel flat. We Taya suffering. Yeah, we Taya.
yes, so
Don't be any power off. We Taya suffering.
they're all over the street. We Taya suffering.
Imagine, government recording. They can be causing law for their pain. No man, we Taya suffering.
My brother, our country gone way beyond. Yes, we Taya.
So my people, you're not be scared.
Join us out on Saturday, December 17, 2022, to tell them.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from the slumber. Stop sleeping. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands.
Suffering with Taya. We Taya suffering with Taya.
Yes.
Let's go.
To show you will not win under my leadership as president of the Republic of Liberia.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
I am running for president to put an end to your tears and your pains and suffering.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you go to the hospital and be rejected due to lack of money under my presidency.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you go to bed hungry due to the lack of food under my leadership as president.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you, the certain ethnic groups, feel that second-class citizens in this country under my presidency.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
My sister, we Taya suffering. Stealing a tumor in the government. We Taya suffering.
Can you our people nothing coming out of it? So much in the government here. We
No, I will not equal with him. The president feel flat. We Taya suffering. Yeah, we Taya.
yes, so
Don't be any power off. We Taya suffering.
they're all over the street. We Taya suffering.
Imagine, government recording. They can be causing law for their pain. No man, we Taya suffering.
My brother, our country gone way beyond. Yes, we Taya.
So my people, you're not be scared.
Join us out on Saturday, December 17, 2022, to tell the president and his wicked government plus the whole world that we Taya suffering.
And we want change for the better.
Okay, yeah, Paul, it's good to be here again, and Jamal, we want to say thank you very much, Paul, for the hard work, and Jamal, thank you. We see your background is glittering, and Paul, you. I don't want to go there, but the good news is Arsenal won today, right?
Arsenal didn't play today, so Arsenal is playing on the 26th of this
Okay, I think it
month.
was all game result I'm looking at, but the big one team 2-1. But you know where I'm going anyway. I want to say football did not come home this trip. Football just made us stop, and then it exited. So you guys got to try hard. And so I think you know exactly what I mean.
You know, the beauty of the game is that's how the game's supposed to be. Anyway, the team did not perform well. They had the players, and they were depending on referee to give them what we call penalty and all that. So some of us don't believe in it. You go for a game, go for the game and finish off the game. Yeah. So yeah, but the best team won on the day. Very good goal in the end. So now we know that Morocco and Croatia is playing now. But what happened in this tournament full of surprises though? This team will end up being Morocco and Croatia final. The way things are looking.
Yeah, and you know, all of the big memes were like, you know, everybody, they were the favorites. And then all of a sudden, I mean, you got a Morocco. But again, you know, I will tell you one thing. Even if Morocco plays magic, I'm not still convinced if they will even reach the final. And if they reach the final by luck or by some magic, they will not do anything because you know the policy in this thing here. People, what is a Morocco to carry a World Cup? You know, that's just my own feeling. Probably other people would feel the other way.
Well,
Okay, I don't know what you might have to add to that, but
well, with regard to the World Cup,
yeah.
Just the best team will win. That's what I can say.
Exactly.
I think Sarah's in the background, guys.
And the best teams have started winning. Okay, guys, tonight we're going to have interesting discussions surrounding issues in Liberia, and we have a guest tonight again, Mr. Cyrus Gray is going to be with us for some time, and if time permits, I don't know how possible it's going to be. Not time, but if we can get Mr. Kula, because we talked earlier on this afternoon, Mr. Martin Kula from Liberia. He has some meetings to attend, but he told me to give him a call. So during the course of the program, we can't promise, but we'll get to him if he's done his meetings. He might give us at least 10-15 minutes of his time. But we are sure that Cyrus Gray is going to be with us, and Cyrus is a good political analyst. He follows the issues in Liberia. And so if you join us, you're not going to be disappointed. I see Paul is all geared up and Jamal is, I think, ready. And so we're gonna start off the show. Paul, we want to start us off with those jingles you were playing, and then we can share the show and then come back and usher in our guest.
Yeah, we can start with that. How it goes on this now.
Sophie, with Taya, Sophie, with Taya.
Yes.
Let's go.
To show you will not win under my leadership as President of the Republic of Liberia.
I said we tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
I am running for president to put an end to your tears and your pains and suffering.
I said we tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you go to the hospital and be rejected due to lack of money under my presidency.
I said we tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
No more will you go leadership as president.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
Maybe when you for certain ethnic groups feel like second-class citizen in this country under my presidency.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
My sister, we die suffering. Stealing a tumor in the government, we die suffering.
Can you our people nothing coming out of it? So much in the government here. We
No, I will not equal with him. The president feel flat. We die suffering, yeah? We die.
yes, so
Don't be any power off, eh? We die suffering.
they're all over the street. We tire suffering.
Imagine, eh? Government recording. They can be causing law for their pain. No, man. We die suffering.
My brother, our country gone way beyond. Yes, we tire.
So, my people, you're not be scared.
Join us out on Saturday, December 17, 2022, to tell the president and his wicked government plus the whole world that we tire suffering.
And we want change for the better.
Okay, thank you, Paul, very much for those jingles. And I think the message in the jingles is very clear that people are tired suffering. The Liberian people are tired suffering, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So let's welcome our guest, Mr. Cyrus Greer. Our guest, Cyrus, is all set. And hoping that he's hearing us and that his signals will be very good. But while Cyrus gets ready, Paul, tonight, I guess you guys are acquainted with the topic that we'll be discussing tonight. We'll be talking about the coming of Mr. Lewi Brown on the Team Cummings in recent time. What difference has he made since he came on board Team Cummings? Has he brought anything significant? Or is he just there, like we say in Liberia, occupying space? And we'll also be looking at the CPP penny Taya Rally. How successful do we think it's going to be? I mean, we are not the planners, but as Liberians and as people who observe, we just have to give our own observations and analysis of what we think it will be. And so we are not here to make final judgment on what it will be or what it will not be. And so the third thing we'll be looking at is what should be the focus of the CPP ANC campaign? Fast forward, what will be the main focus of the campaign message to the voters? So those are just a few of the things we'll be talking about. And if anybody has anything much, we can add it there and we all discuss. So let me say welcome to those to both of you. And you can give your intro respectively.
Right. Good evening and good afternoon to our viewers. And I'll say it's good to be back on Butterline for another fascinating discussion. I see Sarah's internet is giving problems. Yeah, we'll be looking at the topic tonight. So I think it's the discussion I'm looking forward to. And I will say hi to both of you. And I guess you guys are enjoying the European weather the few days because it's been extremely cold here. In London, it's having snow for a while now, but we have snow everywhere. So if you can see me like this, then it just shows how cool it is. And I wish I was in Liberia.
Well, the weather, as I'm talking to you, I just came from out 18 right now, and it's been like that almost since whole day. So, for us, it's normal. So, we are looking up to in the Christmas. Normally, in the Christmas and New Year season is really, really cool. So we're expecting to climb up to or to drop lower to probably 25, 26. Yeah, it depends. People say there's global warming, so we hope the weather will be getting warmer from outside.
That's right. Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, guys. Listen, it's been a tough weather here in Manchester, but sorry enough, we lost the quarterfinal in England. It was a very very tough thing for us to bear. We still thought football would have come home, but it's still not coming home. So we keep our finger crossed. I probably need another 4 years, or we looking up to the Europe finals. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
been a dream for us in the UK. I mean Europe, UK in general, because if you look at it, football was really was even this is a cradle, the place of football. I just call it the cradle of football is in UK, England in general. So we've been reaching and being. I think someone would say it's like how do you say that? Wishful thinking. Football is coming home, but we brought it home with the women. Brought it home with the World Cup. We brought it home. So we wish they would have come home, but it didn't happen. So I still wish the best team will win. Generally, the weather is good, off and on. It's not that cool compared to Scandinavia. We do thankful we hanging on. You can see me sitting down in my little t-shirt, so I'm in my shirt. It feels very, very cool to have saved me a towel to my neck. However, but I'm all right. We live in. And I'm quite interested that the topic tonight will be okay. And we can able to dive through it with our guests on. Can able to look at it from our own perspective and see how we can give our best shot.
okay. Um, we all know that Lewi Brown is heading Team Cummings, and it's been over a month since Mr. Brown uh, was named to that position, and we've been following. And let me just lay a little background. Cummings, according to most Liberian people, he was not well known, or he's not well known. People don't know him, and he had 7% in the past election, so he's a non-entity when it comes to the political race in Liberia. So people disregard him, actually, according to them. And Mr. Cummings did not give up despite his 7%. He did not give up. He built on his hope for the fact that he came into the past race in 2017. He came 18 months to the elections, being a very new person on the ground, and he managed to succeed by getting even 7%, and even gaining some counties, winning the entire counties. So he did not give up. He's been pressing forward with his 7%. And other people, other Liberians, well-meaning Liberians who believe in Mr. Cummings' dream, have decided to join on board. And one of them being Mr. Lewi Brown. And remember, Mr. Lewi Brown is former student leader, one. Two, he's former Liberia's ambassador to the UN, and he's been former information minister in Liberia. So Mr. Lewi Brown has been serving in government. He knows uh, um, how government works in and out, especially serving as information minister, and then the government trusting him and sending him abroad to represent the government at the United Nations. That's not a small position, and you can't just give that position to any Joe Blow anywhere. And so Mr. Lewi Brown has a base, politically speaking. And so Mr. Lewi Brown decided to join Mr. Cummings. And after he joined Mr. Cummings, he was named head of the Team Cummings. And so the question here is, we see a lot of things happening. Almost every Liberian newspaper, local newspaper, international newspaper, all talk shows, all radio stations, Mr. Cummings' name is mentioned. What has brought any change? Was it Lewi Brown's presence, or what? Tell me what's going on. You guys can give your view. I mean, nobody's, like I said, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, but it's just how we feel. So has Lewi Brown's presence brought anything significant or anything negative to Team Cummings?
Yeah, okay. I'll go first, boy, if you let me. The
Go
thing is, I think we give credit to Lewi Brown, not only Lewi Brown, other team. Lewi Brown is part of a team that's making our Team Cummings. What you didn't see at the start, Linford was, uh, there was Mr. Cummings was almost everywhere because he was trying to engage the people everywhere he goes out to engage the people at the start. What you saw, what was missing in a political setting or political party, you see a group of a party chairman, you see a team, a campaign team, and when you came closer, it's a strategy I think ANC and CCP try to employ. When it gets too closer to election, you come up with a team that'll take the to another level. So he part of Mr. Louis Brown is part of a team that is bringing that flavor. I think also looking at his background, is know his level of his understanding of the geopolitics, the local politics, and also the geopolitics of our region. He understands very well, so he should be in the right position to understand. They've changed the dynamics anyway compared to 6 7 months ago. I also want to say we don't want to give him the credit because he take the lead, but other people are there in the background also supporting. They've also, honestly speaking, they've changed the dynamics in terms of direction of the CPP, and I got him much to the people out there. And this is what without someone who were lacking into the CPP, get out to the people, tell them what the situation was, tell them what we have on hand, what the sufferings are, how can we resolve those situations, what best solution can we bring to the people, let them know the suffering they're doing, how can they best change it. And this is what we're missing. We were not speaking to the subject. So those are certain organizing Liberian people. Let them know their rights. That's political party rights. So he's doing that. He's taking that lead. So he's not the only person that take the credit. I can agree that he helped to change a lot, and the credit also goes to other people that are part of that team that makes up Team Cummings.
Paul?
Yeah, I can be more. I can disagree with Jamal on this one. I think Louis Brown and others that Mr. Cummings have brought on his team, the addition to what people have been saying. Remember, for the past 4 or 5 years, people have been saying, oh, there is no opposition in the country. Now, Mr. Cummings have changed the dynamic of the Liberian politics now by making himself more the main challenger to the incumbent. So now this is where the noise is coming from. So Louis Brown and others, they get addition to the team. And that big addition to that team is now causing a lot of uncertainty among the ruling establishment. So they are kind of confused. When people are confused, this is what you get. So yeah, so now the ruling establishment have realized that the main contender is Mr. Cummings. So that's what the noise is all about. So it's not giving Louis Brown a credit, but the entire team for making the effort. Welcome, Mr. Gray.
Yeah, guys, I've been trying to sit to it myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very
Loud
well.
and clear.
We
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be back, man. It's been a while. Yeah, I've picked up on part of the intro, so I'm gonna give you guys as much time as I can. I'm teaching not too far from here, so when I get close to my schedule time, then I will leave. But I'm glad to be here with you.
Okay. So since we do not have full time with you, I guess you just want to go quickly on this one. Team Cummings is headed by Mr. Louis Brown, Ambassador Louis Brown. But the question is, since he came on board, what significant thing has he brought, or is there anything that he's done to change the dynamics, of what we previously saw happening?
So first, maybe I should make a disclaimer. I know Louis Brown personally. He almost like a brother to me. Louis Brown is a politician, right? And like you guys have already captured some of the challenges that Mr. Cummings' team have had in terms of messaging as a politician. So with Louis Brown coming on board, I hear there are other people, but Louis Brown is special. And you can feel why he's special. Already you see the euphoria around Louis Brown and the accusations and all that is because even the guys on the other side are fully aware that Louis Brown is smart. Louis Brown is well experienced in the Liberian political system, and Louis Brown is also daring. I think this is a missing piece that the ANC and CPP, I may say, and Mr. Cummings have had. And Louis brings significant value to the ticket. I was hoping that we spend some time talking about some of the claims that get made against Lewi Brown, trying to deliver here as a rebel and killer and all that. So we can set that in a little bit of context.
That's exactly.
Sorry about
That's
the noise.
exactly. That's exactly where we try
You can
to.
see I'm moving away. A garbage truck empty. A garbage truck empty is back ready.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Viewers, while Cyrus is trying to, or Mr. Gray is trying to relocate, like you heard him say, he's actually at work, but he just took our time to talk to us.
You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear.
Sorry, man. I'll do my best. Let's go.
Yeah, and so I said, the question he asked whether we'll be talking about some of the things being said against Mr. Brown, and I said that's exactly where we're driving to. But in order to arrive there, we just wanted to know whether he has brought something to the table that makes people to jitter. Okay, I think let's just go quickly into that. We've been hearing that Mr. Brown is a rebel. We've been hearing Mr. Brown is a killer. We've been hearing Mr. Brown is security or was security advisor to Mr. Taylor. All of these things, they try to inculcate it and then to present a negative picture of Mr. Brown. But again, this is Mr. Brown who has served in 2 governments, and this is the same Mr. Brown that they try to denigrate. And the same people who Mr. Brown served with are the same people turning around now to speak against him. So let's look at it. Cyrus, Mr. Brown. Let's look at some of these allegations that have been levied against Mr. Brown, that he was security advisor to Mr. Taylor, which of course is true. But the question is, when was he security advisor? And then he being from across the line, he's labeled as a rebel. Probably you being knowing him, you could either attest to that or have your own views.
So you guys can hear me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first thing I understand. We're in a political space. So if Lewi Brown appears to be a threat to the other side, they're going to fight back. So it's not surprising that they're trying to discredit him, because they're trying to discredit the messenger so that he does not have the impact that they think he's going to have. So, but from my personal experience, let's go to Lewi Brown. If you're saying Lewi Brown is a rebel and a killer, then you may as well say that for me too, right? Because I've known Lewi Brown before the war. We're across the line. We're refugees in Darnay for a while. Lewi Brown was a refugee there. Like many other guys, many of them who are judges today, who are lawyers today, people from that old class that graduated from college before the war, many of them ended up behind the lines. They were not necessarily fighters. No. So Lewi Brown, security advisor, I tell you what, by the time the war was coming to an end, and you had Taylor and his group, the MPRAG, they were looking for any smart person that they can get to constitute part of the government. The other thing we have to realize that it's easy to blanket Liberians relative to the era of the war. Like Charles Taylor and the people behind the line. Just step back for a little bit. What kind of war you had going on in Liberia? There was a civil war. Behind the line was 95% of the population controlled by Charles Taylor. Most of the Liberian people were on that side of the war. Are you suggesting to me if anybody were on that side, that means they killed somebody or they were rebels and all that? That is what they are messaging. And the people who are messaging, they know better, because guess what? If the CTC guys are saying genuinely their concern is not to associate with people who are tainted by the war, then you can see the hypocrisy already, because Joy Howard was the wife of Charles Taylor. She is, in fact, the premier beneficiary of the war. She was behind the line too with him. Your president, she was there with him. She was holding big positions. Her family, her brother who passed, Zizi Kalubai, they were all big people. If you come to the political space, Prince Johnson, who is on record, videotaping killing a president. Apart from the many other people he killed, the council robber, he's endeared to the CTC and President Weah because they won the NIMA votes. And these people have been elected over and over by the people. So the best way to deal with this issue about smelling people is to approve the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. Because if there are atrocities committed during the war, there are clear humanitarian laws that govern what you can do and what you cannot do, so that we can be clear about who committed a crime and who didn't commit it. What we have going on right now, you got a political battle going on. And it's easier for the people who have a friend of Louis Brown. I mean, a friend. Louis Brown is smart. Louis Brown can talk. Louis Brown can talk the things that most people would not want to talk. And Louis Brown also, he connects with the ordinary people. Because Louis Brown has been a student leader at the University of Liberia. Louis Brown doesn't come from a silver spoon. A poor bastard guy. So he comes across very sharp. So he's a major asset to the TPP and the ANC group. So don't be surprised that they're making those comments. It's just that when you have major Liberian communication platforms buy into that notion, now all of a sudden, so just Mr. Cummings say here.
The internet might be.
The internet is not being very friendly to Sarah. Yeah, okay. I think you back on course.
Yeah. So the point I'm really trying to make is that we have to see this purely from the praising of politics. The reason why you hear all those big talk, those bad talk about Louis Brown is because he comes with a heavy weight on the side of Cummings, and he brings in a value that they had not manifested before. That's why all the oppositions, because look, Louis Brown of late was Liberia's permanent representative to the United Nations. Louis Brown was Minister of Information under President Shirley. I would think that if somebody were concerned that Louis Brown had a human right, a war record, those were the times they were supposed to raise it, especially at the UN.
Exactly.
Where the UN is the tip of the spear for identifying those who were responsible for the war. So I just take this as a pure politics. But the reality is that Louis Brown is a threat to the current administration from a political perspective, because he's a shrewd, smart politician, good organizer.
So Cyrus, let me add something to what he just said. And so those that were behind the line, I mean, they should be considered a rebel. So if you work in a child state of government, like my brother Linford here, so we'll consider him as rebel as well. But then
I mean, I was a minister in the child state of government.
So, and also the equipment today, the president, he also worked on a child state law. He was the sports technical director for Lone Star, and he was getting paid. So that means he's a rebel as well. So if they see go that you work for Charles Taylor, you're a rebel. So then the current president also is a rebel. If we look at it that way.
But guess what, Paul? The strategists of the ruling administration are succeeding to some extent, because you will notice that the big argument now is about Louis Brown, whether he is a rebel or he's not a rebel, instead of asking whether the call protest is justifiable or not. This is not the issue that's on the table.
Yeah.
The issue on the table is Louis Brown. So I think probably we should slow down with the Louis Brown stuff and recalibrate.
That's right.
There is a real problem in Liberia. There is a failed government in Liberia.
Do you think, like you said, the ruling party strategy is working by calling Louis Brown a rebel? Do you think the Liberian people do not read between the lines? You know, I know not everybody did.
I can tell you for free, for Louis Brown and the CPP's protest is on the right side of the people, because the timing is just right. People are aggrieved. Look, I really don't believe that George Weah wants to win the next election. If he wants to win the next election, then that means he really is naive into thinking that the Liberian people are stupid. That he can just about do anything he wants, and they will still hand over a second term to him. I mean, you can imagine the demonstration being planned, the census that is going haywire, You got elections commission have not been funded. The election timeline has been undermined, and the president leaves the country for almost 2 months, mostly to go and watch football game. Yeah, I mean, put your head around that. Put your head around that. Then recently, his
Somebody could
CDC
see
was attempting to have a demonstration on the same day. I'm told now he wrote them a letter and told them that they want to endorse him, they should forget it on that day that the CPP is demonstrating. I don't know whether he's under pressure to do that or not, but I have understood the guy to some extent to see that first thing he's afraid to be rejected. He doesn't like for people to boo him. He doesn't like those guys. So the tension is mounting to the extent that if we're not careful, that guy will collect his own bicycle and run away.
somebody could say that all of the delays in the electoral process, the biometric system, the voters registration, and all these kind of delays, and then the CPP trying to plan a rally. People call it protest, but a rally, and the ruling government may just try to use that as an excuse to say, well, we're doing our best, but the people came and interrupted us with their rally or with their protest and whatever. Do you think something like that could happen?
So I think you gave them too much credit. The guys, the CDC and the guys, they are not sophisticated. They're not. What's going on in Liberia with all these the unfunding of the elections commission, the quasi issue going on with the census, it's all because of incompetence. It's all because there's not a central policy group that is driving how government performs across the table. And this is not unique. It's across everything about government. It's about football, the thing that George Weah loves the most. It's about the running of the government ministries. The easiest thing in Liberia is the thing that does not require too much thinking. For example, you say, okay, like we're out of money now, so we stop all the cars today to make sure that they're not registered. Those kinds of stuff, they can do it easily because they can create checkpoints and they just harass people and make people to pay. For example, okay, Marybro, go collect all the wires and cut the wire down, people who can get current and thing here and there. These are not systemic solutions to problems. They are knee-jerk solutions. If you think from a strategic standpoint, whether you have people sitting there and looking at the entire panorama of the government's performance and say, look, this is what we set ourselves to do. What have we done here? How are we going to adjust it and thing here? Nothing like that happening. Even when it comes to money. I mean, if any money is raised at the port, for example, or at any kind of agency, there is an expectation that they should collect some of that money and carry it to the president. So you know, the failures that you see are not because people are working hard and things are crippling, or that there is a deliberate strategy to make things fail. It's just that the general sense of failed leadership. And I will hope that it does not amount to just not being prepared to have the elections. That's why we all should be concerned about this whole idea of biometrics and all that, because it requires a whole lot of finesse, a whole lot of capability. And then it requires a data gathering and processing to the extent that it will show integrity for the elections or not. These guys are not good at that kind of stuff. Because think about it, most of the people they have in leadership in government are people who they place in those positions who do not have the qualification and they don't care. They don't care. I mean, you take the airport, almost a system breaking down, no electricity here and there. You grab a guy who is a comedian and a pianist in his church, because the guy said he went to some technical school somewhere in Philadelphia, and you send him to go and run your problem airport. Right now, the Freeport, the girl who is the managing director, the biggest job she has done has been driving for a UN agency. Okay, so you go across, the capable people are pushed aside and the incapable people are placed on top. The outcome of that is system failures all across. It's not that it's deliberate, it's just that you not prepare yourself to succeed. So this thing that's happening with the demonstration thing is scary because I don't think they have an answer to it. That's why it's convenient to try to liberate Lewi Brown as the devil who have come to bring confusion in the country.
Paul or Jamal, do you have anything to add? Because I just wanted to introduce another thing again.
I think you should give chance to our guests because you don't have much time with us to go through what we have, so we can able to take it from there.
So good. Okay. Leave shoot the other thing.
Yeah.
So before Linford shoot, I don't know what this issue with opposition now linking with the government to go against this rally is something I wanted you to look at. Is that where you're heading, Linford?
No, that's not exactly what I'm heading to.
Right.
But Cyrus can probably touch on that, then I'll come up.
Yes. Yeah, so opposition leaning with the government. I don't know how valid is that claim. I know there are people in the opposition who are not coming out forcefully to say they are part of the demonstration, but that can be understood because there is a context in the opposition already that led to the breakdown of the CPP. The principal thing that broke the CPP down that we don't talk about is their failure to agree on a single candidate. So there are those who are following Joe Boakai, there are those who are following Alexander Cummings. So if any mass popular event is organized by and credited to Cummings, naturally, the other people on the other side will not be too anxious because they think that elevates Cummings. But I tell you what, the theme of the demonstration will bring people together in spite of their political persuasion, because one thing they have in common, everybody catches shit and they can figure a way out. So at some point in time, if an opposition person dissociates with it because they fear that it may promote Cummings, they're just in a tight position, because if that demonstration succeeds, then they're even further away, because the people will say that at the time we came together to question this government, you did not share that vision with us. So when you want us to support you, how do you even come out to ask us to support you? Or you're not willing to take any risk?
Yeah, so this is the clip from the newspaper. This is the front page, and actually it's Teron Gonglo that been vocal with this thing, and he also went after Lewi Brown. So that's what I'm saying. The opposition now supposed to, and he have his own demonstration on the 14th, which is tomorrow, I guess. That was true. But then he against Lewi Brown of being the face of this rally. He shouldn't be a face. So all of these people now, they go in the game after Lewi Brown instead of the intent of the rally. So they want to make the thing as Lewi Brown rally instead of the purpose of the rally. So
but like I said earlier, it's all politics.
Yeah.
So Teron is the most recent guy on the block, and you see you expect him to be, if he now it looked like he really serious to contest, so he will pull anything out of the hat so that he can make himself relevant. The reality is, if you sit there, I know Teron too personally, right? He's a good guy. I mean, he's I don't know whether he's ready to be president. I mean, he's a good guy, earnest guy. He probably could run a justice ministry fine. He got integrity. But to be president, you need a lot more than that. For him to be questioning Lewi Brown and other people is pure politics, because it's convenient for him. But think about it. Is he suggesting now, by questioning Lewi Brown, that there is not a need to call the government to question in a public rally? This would be a good question for the journalists to ask him.
Right.
Okay, so on that point, let me shoot. There is this part of the argument that Lewi Brown, being former security advisor to Mr. Taylor, and also his affiliation with the MPFL back then, 2 days ago, or yesterday to be precise, the organizing committee of this rally held a press conference. And at that press conference, Mr. Martin Kula said that many people are endorsing or willing to join the rally, and some of those people are even former ex-combatants. And then people are taking it out of perspective, I listened to Spoon TV where Witherspoon was weighing in so much that Lewi Brown is going to Buto to recruit their own fighters to come. I mean, just pressing on it and bringing in Mr. Cummings. But the question I wanted to ask here is, and this question is not to any particular person, it's just our views. These ex-combatants, haven't they been in Liberia all the time? And all of the protests that have been going on, have there been anybody who was checking to see if any of these people were present and point them out and remove them? Or are they not part of the suffering masses? Or do they not have the right? Like Sarah said previously, the war and economic crimes have not been established in Liberia to bring down anybody guilty. Everything we're doing is all accusation. And these people, they are living normally like anybody. They are paying their taxes, those of them that are working, they're living normally. But when it comes to them exercising certain rights, then people want to point them out and remove them. So, I mean, I just want us to throw a light on give our own views on that.
And for the most prominent former combatant in Liberia is former General Prince Johnson. He is being paid by the Liberian government. He's a representative of the second largest county in the country. He is even sought after to get a vote from Nima County. Most people who are raising this issue are either ignorant, willfully, or they're playing politics. Because if they are contenders for the presidency, look, everybody brings a vote. They are counting on these very people to vote for them, but when it's convenient, they make a generalization and say, oh, these people are former combatants. The Liberian Civil War was a civil war. So by the time you come to the peace negotiation, you had dozens of factions all over the country. If you were to do an analysis in terms of population of people who actually were former combatants, you'll probably be talking about most of the able-bodied men in the country. So that means by that stand-up, you shouldn't even be having I see anybody to vote because most people are former combatants anyway. Now, I come back to the issue of war crimes code. In the Civil War, there are still rules of war. The people who committed atrocities, killed innocent people, the economic part of it, the people who plundered our resources. We have, as a people, to get some closure, we need to support the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. So people who have been signaled out can have a chance to be tried, and those found guilty to be punished. In the absence of that, it's only witch hunting for you to be pointing finger to people while at the same time you're paying a guy like Prince Johnson. And that's my point. So the other thing I would say, I'm not trying to besmirch anybody. I don't go watching all these talk shows and things here and there because some of them are offensive. Offensive because I will take for Spoon, and I don't care how they take it. I believe they have a good coverage of people who listen to them and watch them, but they do not have a good quality of content. They are not subject matter experts. So anybody can, I watched one of the programs where you have a former finance minister, Nat Bounce, former ambassador to the United States, is on the program, and they're trying to get information from him because he has the relevant experience and education. And one of the guys who's the host is literally being dismissive and insulting of him. I saw the same with Lewi Brown. Say what you want to say about Lewi Brown. But Lewi Brown has been foreign minister, security advisor to an elected president. He was security advisor when Charles Taylor was president of Liberia, now during the war. He has been minister of information under President Shirley. He has been Liberia's permanent representative to the United Nations. He has a wealth of knowledge. You can't bring somebody like that to the program. You're talking to them, you're throwing back insults, even to the extent I see one kid saying, if he doesn't agree with me, cut him off. So I don't give too much credence to some of the commentaries that come from there. There are other better platforms like this one. I know people will say this platform leans heavily towards Cummings, but you're earnest on what you say and you have the arguments. So if somebody come out and say, oh, they're counting on or former combatants. Maybe it sounds sweet to somebody political ear, but step back for a little bit. Who is former combatant in Liberia? Most of the able-bodied persons. I mean, I was behind the line. I went to ball play, and we walked to that base, and you're looking around. The people that were over there, when they shout in the morning, you can hear the vibration from the mountain 5-6 minutes later. You're talking about at least 30, 40,000 persons in training while the war is still going on. People are lining up from everywhere to be enlisted to go and fight against Samuel Doe. If you look at all that and you are realistic with the data, almost all the men of mature age were involved in the war. And that's just one side. Hey, when you go to Ulimo, you go to the ALFL side and all that. So that noise about former combatants is useless for politics. Now, that is not to say that people did not commit atrocity, kill people, uselessness in Liberia. I and any well-meaning Liberians should advocate for these people to be held accountable. And the sooner we do that, the better, because people are passing away without being punished. But in the absence of that, for you to just start pointing to this other person when you don't feel happy about them, that, oh, this man worked in the child stealer government, that the people who killed our people. You got to be kidding me. But for in this political space, it's convenient for some people to do that because Lewi Brown, for example, is singing a song that they don't like to hear. So to stop other people from hearing that song, they got to pin Lewi Brown in a way that people won't listen to him. I just think it's not going to work.
That's right.
Chima?
Well, I think Sarah just made his point, and he made it very clear. I think we should not be dwelling a lot on the Lewi Brown being a rebel. Any other person who worked in the past governments, like the Taylor government or Ellen's government. We should look at the subject matter here. The subject matter is, what is the rally all about? Does it really matters? Does it meet the needs? Does it really something? Will they address the issue? Will they really tell the Liberian people what they need to know? I think that's what I'm well concerned about. I think I'm interested in. If you look at it like you said, you already shot in my statement when we all want to talk about Preence Johnson, his activities in Liberia. We all know, well documented what he's done compared to another Liberian. Well, profound rebel leader that also in the government been paid for by the government. So let's look at the issue of we are tired of suffering. That's a rally on the 7th of December. That should be the key issue here.
Precisely. And as we do that, let's all advocate for it to be a rally, a peaceful rally, an opportunity for people to express their grievances without it resulting into any kind of form of anarchy. I'm happy that they selected a public space at the stadium to do that. I hope they organize it in a way they set up a stage and people can come and express what they feel. I think they have stated over and over the idea is to call the government's attention if there's a need to do that. To where we are right now, don't act like things okay. So let the people speak to you directly and express themselves. I think this should be embraced by everybody.
But there are fears in some corners that the rally, people who are going to the rally with real good intentions may just be infiltrated by people. And I think I should be asking the organizers of the rally this question, but let's just throw it out there and look at the possibilities of anything happening. That the government.
So live up.
Yeah.
Live up. I'm sorry, I'm double tasking. I haven't launched at the same time. I look too bad. Just let me tell you what. One of the good things the guys did was to schedule the rally in a confined environment. So the SKD Stadium, the outside the pitch, is fenced in.
Right.
It's fenced in. So if you are having an event, because that's what it's going to be, it's not like people are marching in the street. They're going to bring people into that venue, and then they're going to have an event where people are going to speak, and people, if anything happens out of the way over there, it should be contained. That's why the police and other people are going to be there. So I really don't have a fear that, because for you to even be insinuating over that, and the rally, the people with this step, that you are expressing disrespect for the Liberian people. Because if people are aggrieved, I mean, everybody's money, few people eating it, and they don't care. And instead of people being destructive or people going arm rob people here and there, the CPP and the group are trying to give an opportunity for people to air out their grievances, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, I think it's a good thing. It might be coming across as if there's so many people there. It might come across that these people are against it. Look at how many people are up against the government. But this is the reality. If you don't want people to be against you, then you have to satisfy their needs in keeping with the obligation that you have been paid for. Let's not forget the administration of any country, the government of any country has been given a trust of the people's resources, the people power, the people authority are being handed to you. It's sort of a social contract. That look, you manage our affairs. You decide what kind of things will be done for us to prosper. If you have that obligation, and the people, even a small number of them, have come to the conclusion that this stuff look like it's not working for us, don't they have a right to talk?
Yeah, but you see, Liberia being the kind of country it is, you talk about the presence of the police, and we have seen this police at certain events. The latest was the student, the soup students, right in front of the American embassy, where the police stood by and a student was beaten almost to death. Okay, so the presence of the police, yeah, they will be physically present, but what can they do? And we can also go back to the June 7 protest where people were caught with machetes hidden under their clothes, and they were trying to get closer to the organizers of the protest. So this country or this government has history of disrupting protests, and we've seen in the past Jefferson Koji heading group with something that people picture to look like the gun in their hands, marching. So if we look at all of those in the past, then the fear factor sets in that okay, the government might get infiltrate and they will wound one person. I mean, it's good to look at it. So I would have asked the organizers of this program as to whether they will have real, security, their own security mechanism in place, like people entering. Of course, if you got 400,000 entering the fence, you can't check everybody at the same point. But that everybody will be kind of security for each other. If you are standing by me, I'm watching you. The other guy is watching the other guy, and then in that area, they will help beef up the presence of the police or whichever security forces will be present. That's the point I was trying to drive. Looking back at the history of the government.
So my point. Okay, you mentioned the issue up at the U.S. Embassy where the soup guys were attacked by a group, and then some police people stood by. Well, I can't speak to that because I don't know the circumstance, even though the video shows some police people around. But you must also know that on that Benson Street, before the entrance to the U.S. Embassy, I worked over there for 2 years. You have police there. You have police assigned to the embassy right there, Liberian police. The last I would think would be for them to jump in something that's happening on the road. So it may very well have been that in the back view of that video, it was those police guys who are at the embassy gate. It is not to say that police should see people beating people and don't get involved in it. But this rally we're talking about has a lot of publicity, right? It's going to be held in a confined space. The government has been made responsible for security. I read a letter from Musa Dean, the Minister of Justice, and he's very explicit. He's written to the police director and he instructed him to do what is necessary to provide security and protection at that scene. Yes, people who go in there, the organizers should be sensitive of security, but let's not miss the fact that it is not their responsibility in the big scheme of things to provide security, so as not to create the situation that, okay, the opposition people have their own security people, because that will be even generating an opportunity for conflict. Let the police people, if you organize this thing well and the police are stationed to where they need to be stationed, risk is always there. But the idea is to minimize the risk so that the real purpose for the protest and the demonstration, and I say protest and demonstration, I say interchangeably because it's a protest. It's a protest against bad government. It's not as though it's not a disruption, but it's a protest. It's a message of rejection in a way, or caution. So it's a protest. I mean, because a protest, if there was not a need for a protest, then nobody will we assembled in the first place. We're saying, look, we don't like how things are going, and we'd like to talk about it. We'd like for you to hear it out. So
Okay.
I think we should hold the Liberian police people, the police authorities accountable. But apart from that, I'm almost sure that Lewi Brown and the rest of the team there will be sitting with the police before this event and drawing up a roadmap on how is this going to go on, so that nothing is going to be happening that everybody does not know. Because if you see a police truck come with 200 men and start getting down with shield and things, some people could interpret it to say, "Oh, the police coming to disrupt the protest." So yeah, so I think from a cautionary perspective, going to the Saturday event, I think in these few days there will be a need for the people organizing the protest to sit with the police and have a clear understanding of how this is going to happen. Where are you going to be stationed? What are you expected to do? So we will tell our people, so there's nothing pop out of the sky that nobody knows about. But I must leave with the fact that it's still the government and the police that's responsible for the protection of these people. In spite of how many people assemble, it is the job of the police to make sure that place is safe.
Okay, and so before the other guys come in, I just want to make this disclaimer. I'm not setting in fear factor like $6. Understand here. You see, I'm one person. If I'm planning something, even if I'm cooking my own food, I always look at something could happen. I'm very precautionary, manner. Everything I do, I take precaution. You see, and that I think that makes a good planning. So, like I said, I started examples of things that have been happening in the country. So you can't rule out. No, listen, there are people who come and throw verbal insults or verbal attack. I've been reading. There's a guy called William Slim King Bro. He and Mary Bro got the same last name. He's called William Slim King Bro. He made a comment when Lewi Brown was at the studio. There were two. They said, Lewi Brown, your beating is loading. And it didn't take time when people flock at the station. So people say things, then they plan it, that they'll do it. And that same William Slim King Bro threatened me one time that he will kill me. He came to somewhere, he was in Italy, he put on video, he wanted me to see him. And these are people who say things. And they are real people. They are not some Hollywood stunts. No, they are real people. So you gotta take precaution. Not that somebody will go there to.
You know what? One thing, Lewi.
Yeah.
You know one thing. One thing is that at the studio where Lewi Brown was that night, at the end of the day, the police came, and the police got him out of there.
And you know why the police came? Because there were threats going on right on the live. On the live, people were writing threatening messages that they will attack, and so other people are reading it. That's why people call the police. So the thing, that's why I'm saying this. Not that I'm afraid. I can't be afraid. I can't be afraid. I've seen plenty of things that some people have not seen. So I can't be afraid. Fear, like once Chancellor told us one time, he said, fear has no medicine. If you're sick, we can carry you to the hospital, anything happen. But if you're afraid, the best thing you can do is you run away or you try to protect yourself. So I know that. The only thing I'm afraid of is fear itself. But I'm not afraid. So
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of fear, Lewi. We have to have an expectation. We have to have an expectation,
right,
that the police has the duty to ensure law and order. And I'll double down on what I said. It will be the responsibility also of the protest organizers to sit with the police authorities before the protest and craft out a plan so that everybody understands the security plan. What I don't want us to dwell on this because it may come out as an excuse to stop people from going to the protest.
Yeah.
That we have a fear that something will happen, right? Let's work with the police. No system is foolproof. There will always be risk, but we can minimize the risk by proper planning. The police, in reality, is not an enemy of the people. Sometimes the administrations use the police in such a way as to make them enemy of the people. The police is made out of people from the very communities. This stuff has a huge publicity. Everybody's involved. We in the diaspora watching, the international community is involved. Liberians in Liberia are involved. They will be surprised that this will roll out to be a good event. People will air their voices and we'll end at that.
Right.
That's right. And the target for the protest is about 100,000 people to fill that SKD space. So people will turn out. The police have a duty to guard our people. And equally so, the organizer have their own, I think they might put mechanism in place to
That's
look
exactly
after
my
their
point.
own
That was
people.
exactly true.
That's going to happen. But the rally will go on. They rally everywhere in any democratic society. So I see some of my brothers in the United States where rally is held nearly every time by political leader, and now rally become a threat in Liberia where people were somewhere. It's just I don't know what planet these guys are living on.
It's
And using,
obvious.
yeah,
I think
that's
I
I
think what
mean,
we
Before
need to
come by, it's not about the rally. It's the
yeah,
politics.
it's
yeah
the
I think
The
politics.
people who don't want the
Yeah,
people who don't want the rally, they are in support of the administration and they don't want
yeah.
a big show of rejection of the administration. I mean, you can understand where they come from.
It's
I think
clear.
if
Yeah.
you look at if we look at the record, I think under Ellen government, George Weah TTC government had 57 protests against.
That's right.
I think 88 or 86.
I think it's
87.
57 or 86, something like that. So
Yeah.
this is not
87.
worry. Like Brother Gray said, we shouldn't be worrying about the fear that they're coming over. What we should be doing, asking our people that are following this to use the poster as their in the various social network as a profile picture, the We Are Tired poster. We should call everybody to use that to make sure they send across everywhere. That particular poster, it will really reach out, it resonates with the people. We should ask the people who watching now, ask your friends, your family friend, wherever they are, if they're using the Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, please use it. Use the poster. We are tired. Could you please place it, Paul? Let's see it again. This is the poster we are talking about, and make sure that you use it on your social network as your profile picture. Paul, do you have it?
Yeah, I have it here. Hold on, if I still got it. Oh,
And in fact, I think I listened to community
If you don't have,
engagement
I can
program
find it,
today.
Paul.
Yeah, while Paul is trying to find out, I listened to the community engagement program today at the Park of Paint area, and they are telling people that you can even come if you don't have any T-shirt. Don't worry about your T-shirt. Your T-shirt will be there. If you get a particular color you want to wear, yeah, bring it. We'll print it right there. Everything will be there. So they want everybody to turn out. And one good news is that powerful people have been endorsing this whole thing, like Sandro Johnson, who is also member of the Liberty Party, I call it Benona US Party.
So that former combatant too.
Yes, because he was former lawmaker for Bomi County on Taylor. So now, these are people who are coming. And everybody in Liberia got follower. If you don't have the big political follower, you got your brothers, your sisters, your family, and they believe in you. So, this thing is about Liberia. And all of you who are listening, it's all about Liberia. You think, why is it that and there will be people, seditious, who will go there undercover? Okay, the federal police people they talk about, those that will not be working at it, they wear their color clothes. Market women, everybody will go. I know if the woman is going, the husband will go or her children will go. So it's all about everybody, not about anybody. And the other politicians that are saying, oh, we can't attend, it's all because they are afraid that if this thing succeeds and you pull up 100,000 people, they will say, oh, Mr. Cummings is powerful. That's why they do one. And it's not about Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings does not sleep hungry. Okay, not to brag about him, but he does not sleep hungry. Compared to you, whose children are not in school, your husband did break, he sits home, not that he don't want to go anywhere, but he just get and go, where you going? You see, that's disgraceful to any men. We who are men. The most disgraceful thing is to wake up, you sit down, your children look glaring in your face, you look at your wife, you look at everybody, and everybody looking at you, you look less than a man. You see, that's what we tell them. So we are encouraging all men, encourage your family to go. Without suffering.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, so Lewi, share that with us so that we can put it on our page and share it with our friends too.
Okay.
And guys, just before I leave, maybe I should leave you with this. So nothing wrong if people feel that the rally is about Alexander Cummings or the rally is about any inspiring. Look at a political rally as a civic event that also involves the current administration. because the role of the opposition is to keep the ruling party in check, because the ruling party is the custodian of public good. So if people are gathering in such a number to say, look, you are our leaders who we elected, we are not satisfied with the way you're running, maybe you should have a rally the day after and explain that maybe you're making mistakes. You didn't understand that. The people who you say to Douala Market, I ain't got food, you can let carry out there, yeah, all the food they got. Or the hospitals that you say no medicine, or people not getting treated, let carry out there so you can see. Because this is not an adversarial relationship. The government is the people's stewards. So if the people are coming out and saying, look, hey, we're gonna oppose you, we're gonna question how you handle our business. They got people who carrying drugs and they are holding our diplomatic passport that we made you responsible for. What do you say about it? Then maybe as a government, you need to come out clear and tell us that that's not the case and show evidence of the contrary. But for you to suggest that you can be stealing all the money, you look at the Rousey Highway Road, it was a 2-lane, but we could still drive on it safely. You bust the whole road up and just abandon it, and you eat whatever money that you took from government for it, right? And nobody should say anything. It's for you to suggest that the people are just stupid, you know? People's their rights should be trampled on. People dying, you can't give account of that, even though you are responsible for the security. We pay you to do that. And somebody will say pay you, somebody may argue, say, Sarah, who you pay? Guess what? When I was working at USAID, they took about $16,000 from me every year for tax. Can you imagine? And I know most of that money. I know some of my men in the government who are drinking Hennessy with it. So every time I see that, I get pissed off. so I should be protesting too, right? So let me leave you guys on that soft note.
Sorry, before you go, I think we want to have you one of these days. We'll be talking about the diaspora using them. What do we? I think we want to have a one-to-one section one of these days. We'll talk about how can we harness our capital in the diaspora. How can we move on to Liberia in terms of being a diaspora, and also looking at background as someone who work in the maritime.
I know. I'll be glad to join. I would just be happy, if you guys can give me some heads up so that I can plan for it. I may have been an unprepared student in this class because Lincoln called me 1 hour before time. So guys, I'm sorry. I hope.
No, don't worry. It's all right. It's always good to have you, Sarah.
Always good to have you, buddy.
Just that you have to go to class, but the president spoke today, man. I really enjoyed his speech. I got a little clear of it. My first time seeing my own brother to go to a length now that he have improved lately. So it's something we're talking.
Oh, that's good. That's good. When I go home, I will try to go to the on-demand and pull it out.
Yes.
When the president do good thing, we need to praise him. But look, this is not all about speech.
Yeah.
People are hungry. We got a country to run. I mean, maybe the president should be explaining to us why he stayed out of the country for all those days and how much money he spent. But baby, man, let me go. Right?
Yeah, you talking about a dual citizenship, so that's why I wanted us to look at this.
I will come. Give me time for that. I will come to that. Okay. I appreciate it, guys. You guys take care out there.
We'll get to you and we'll acquaint you before we can bring you on. So that was Cyrus Gray. He's always ready. Like he said, I called him not even 1 hour. I called him like 30 minutes. And I said, Cyrus, wait, he called me to talk different thing. I said, my man, very good. He called me. And then I acquainted him. He said, okay, I will not be home, but I got my tablet here. I will try to be there. So Cyrus is always willing and he's informed. But guys, we are here now. Cyrus is away from us.
So my advice, can we take some viewers' comment, please?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to do that.
Yeah, we want to start with some comment from the first discussion. We'll still look at across the board. This is what someone said. This came from Joy, son Augustus God Tumen. This is what he said. The only idea that is workable for Georgia is a layman idea. No technocrats have been given the chance to suggest their take on national growth. Qualified people are seen as enemy of the state. That's another point. That's Joy. That's God to me. We'll go straight. He got a couple of comments here. We'll go take. We'll be a little bit play justice here. We'll go a couple of comments coming through. We'll look at one from another sister here. This comes from Sister Dolly Nelson. This is what she said. She was reacting to, I think when Linfo said about the.
She was reacting to me.
Yeah, when Linfo said about there's a fear factor. I mean, something like worry about somebody could infiltrate and cause confusion. This is what she said. So, what makes you think the organizers are not or have not taken precautions? You know, like they have to be very precautious of who goes in there and how they can organize themselves. So, she was like, "What do you think?" So, this is a reaction for our sister who is from.
Yeah, but I think she was just supporting. That question is really supportive of me because the point I was making is that everybody entering that place, because definitely if I'm in that fence, I'm going to be watching for myself and watching the guy standing next to me. Okay, so personal security.
I think there's another one. Another group came from God to me also. This is what he said. Government is lazy in defending herself, so she's incapable of understanding what character is and politics should be. How to represent good character and to differentiate politics from growth. Yeah, I think that's a good point for George Weah government to understand what is the difference between politics and growth. I think what we are talking here is about the suffering. Like we always say, we don't preach partisan politics when it comes to Liberia. We have our own views, but we are very honest for what is going in Liberia today. We want to ask you all to share this video. I want to share this topic again. This is the banner we have here. What's the banner again? The banner is here. Paul, do you have it again? Oh, I lost it. Okay, this is it. No. The poster that we need to. 1 second. This is the poster, right? That with music, I guess.
I think that's
that was for the. I think that was the video. I think I'm okay. This is the poster we want everyone that is wherever you are in Liberia, out of Liberia, concerned about the suffering of our people. We ask you to share this. Use it on your. Please use it for your social network as a profile picture, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your Twitter. Please use it. This is a 70. So this is not about CDC. I'm sorry. It's not about ANC. It's not about CPP. It's about Liberia. We all know that the suffering is really, really serious. We all know the suffering is not about the ANC. It's not about Mr. Cummings. It's about Liberia. So we organizing this that we should tell the government of Liberia to do something better. This is all about. So we ask you to please use this as your profile picture. Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, yeah, Paul, you can go ahead.
No, I said that's right. The people need to come out and express their self, them being in the corners, take how things are hard. I mean, this is the day that you come take to the podium and say what in your heart. We know that the government from day one, the first 90 days when they took office, what they started doing, they started building condominium and all that, breaking houses, building new one, bringing private jet, hospitals not even funded with drugs. So it's about time. People have not taken care for 3 months.
It reminds me
of time.
What you just said, Paul, it reminds me of our kindergarten days when you go to the Sunday school. This is a day that the Lord has made. Okay, so this is a day for you to come. All the people who have been sitting in the corner and suffering, and you don't have voice, you don't have the chance. This is the day for you to come and voice out. And that poster is very important. Look at that poster. That poster speaks for you. The moment where that poster, you ain't got to talk. It speaks for you because it shows that you are suffering. Look at that woman. And do not be afraid. The government tried to stop these people all kinds of ways. The first thing, when the people went, there is no public space in Liberia, people pay to demonstrate. When the people went to ask for the place, the government said, oh, you're going to pay. Hoping that they'll say, oh, no, we can't pay. Then they say, okay, you can't pay, then you'll not have your rally. The people pay. They get the people receipt. Then after some time, the minister of sports king said that forced people, that people who do not have authority, they didn't want to receive the money. So why will you, as minister, sit there and people receive money on behalf of your ministry after almost 2-3 weeks before you can say they are not proper people? Then somebody, they ask him, where's the money? He say, in a cash bag. Why are you reporting to government? I was like, okay. Then,
somebody ate the money.
yeah, they try to create all kinds of alternate. But then they ask him, why would the people do? The people want to go protest. What they will do? He said they will not protest. Say, I mean, they will not have a rally. The people said they will go. They will not go. And then the other one, it came out. The Justice Ministry say the people will have their rally, and in fact will provide security. So the government has failed. The government know that this will happen. The rally has won the government. The intent of the rally, and it's not about one particular person, because the people that will be going over there, there are people who are catching Hatan. There are seditions, there are ANC people, there are LP people, there are LAP, all kinds of people. Everybody
Yeah,
like this.
Linford, let me just go in there, let you know that this is now. I will show you a short video that Liberian are suffering for food. If you just get to tell the people that this is something serious, we are not speaking of ANC like my brother is saying, or LPP or whatever the party is. This is all about Liberians. Look what happened in this country. We'll just give you a little clip of video that's happening. Probably you've seen this video before. This is what's happening. I mean, the video you've seen just now is like people jumping over the fence to go and buy rice. They're not getting it for free. So you can imagine a land of this has been going on for ages in our country right now, for months. So the government increased the price from 17 to 17.50, but you can't find it. That's the typical food we eat. You know our rice issue. You know what happened in 1979 with this rice riot. You know about it. Say there was demonstration in 1979, April 14. And this is what happened in our country. People are struggling. We are not making anything up. This is a typical suffering here, physical one we've seen, and many others happening. Wow, Paul, what are they doing? They're building buildings.
They actually jumping over somebody's fence to go and purchase rice.
Okay.
That's how bad it is, because there's no rice.
There's still people that jump. Are they ANC support? Do you see that ANC or the LPP or CTC? Everybody.
The majority of them are sedition. There's some people that voted the president into office.
So that's what Leif was saying. Those who are jumping, it doesn't tell you that they are for ANC, CDC, or LP or whatever. They are Liberians. So we're talking about the suffering. The demonstration on the 17th of December is about telling the government that the suffering is too much. You need to put a stop to it. How can we improve it? So we need to tell them this is your right. I think the Constitution, now we need to think, guarantees this, and we need to support this. So we ask you, every one of you, to please use this the poster we are using. Make sure wherever your family friends are in Liberia, call them to go up there. They're going to be a peaceful demonstration. We're going to be there to tell the Liberian government the suffering is too much. There must be a way out for this, because it's about 11 months to elections. Before that, people can't just suffer and die. People are teachers. I know I heard the last time the Ministry of Justice, some other people, staff are there demonstrating for not being paid. People have not been paid for a couple of months, and that is part of the suffering that is going on. All these people show up. It's not only ANC member, it's not only CPP member. Liberians are coming in general. Show up, your teachers will be there. Any color you said, you will get it. You will wear it and tell the Liberian government it's your right to tell the government that we are suffering, put the end to the suffering.
And like I said,
yes, yeah, I agree. So, Linford, I just want to show, because all this started from the day those guys took over, that it's our time to steal and let's forget about the people. That's why you see things like this. I'm just going to show this. This is George Weah new house on the 9th Street. He broke the old house and built this one. People talk, nothing came from other A. He went, he built 47 condominium, rainbow color. This is Liberia. It's almost like it's in Morocco. This is Liberia, and the people are suffering, jumping over fence. And here we go. This man, his private jet, that Liberian people spending money on day and night, and he there enjoying himself, relax, don't care for the people. It's about time the people express their feeling. This is wrong. When something is wrong, it's wrong. You can't see our mothers jumping over fence to go buy rest. It's just wrong. So the people need to come out.
People, when they join, when they go, they were giving as a gift. I'll risk my life to jump over the fence. But when I'm going to buy rice, you see that woman just doesn't care what she's going. She could even trip over and fall.
Exactly.
You
Risk
know,
health and safety, man.
I don't know. I don't know if you have ever heard this saying that hungry man is an angry man. No, if a man gets hungry, you can even hold bazooka. He will fight to get food. All the thing we do in the world, I mean, look at it technically. Everything we do in the world, it can be king, it can be president, it can be what. The end of it is what? To take that spoon and put in your mouth. That's the end of everything. You will run around all day. You got to eat and sleep. That's the end of everything. So you can't play with anybody's stomach. And, you know, when you see that picture where people who are respectable people, they got their homes, they got their children. That woman, she's grandmother, great-grandmother to other children. Her children are people. She's jumping over fence. And not even a Liberian fence, but a Lebanese fence. Just to go look for food. Can you imagine? That's one of the biggest disgrace. You know, and Liberia have become a laughing stock. I got friends. When they even saw George Weah watching his son playing, and friends at work, and they were asking me embarrassing questions. But what can I say? You see, we have become laughing stock around the world. So this thing is not about anybody, it's about you. And you see, the three of us here, at least we can't sleep hungry. Even if we sleep hungry, maybe that's by choice. Okay? But you, our people in Liberia, if there was way that we could bring all of you, I normally crack the joke to my family. If there was they played a driving distance, then from Montreal to in the interior, I will buy one truck, I go, I put all the inside, I bring it here. You see, here, no matter what, at least, no matter how you catching hard time, you still survive. But you people, they will break. You sit there, you can't see it. The man get the children crying. And we're not in wartime. Wartime, it was different. This is normal day. This is normal day where people are supposed to be working and get paid. Your husband's working, they can't take pay for 2-3 months. When government pay them 1 month, then the government publicize it. Okay? That's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody tell you not to go to this protest, to this rally, it's for yourself. Like I said, you don't have the voice to sit down and speak. But what we're doing here, we're speaking for you. And if you wear that logo and go, that t-shirt with that printing on it and go, you even got to talk, but that t-shirt will talk. Let me tell you, one person, you stay in front of George Weah with that t-shirt face to face, you will represent the 4.5 million people in Liberia with George Weah. So go there that day and make your presence felt. Police people, you'll go there. If you're not working, you'll wear your ordinary clothes, you'll go there. The Soya people that you're suffering for the country, when worker who will go die, and your Soya people will go die. So don't say that you catch out until you die, your children die catching out. It's time for you to speak. So your man, you can't take part in politics, but there's a way you can do it. You can vote, and you can also wear your muftis, as we call it, your ordinary clothes, and go there. You're not carrying wear this thing and go there. You're not carrying no military gun, you're not carrying no military uniform. You're going as Liberian citizen. You are Soya man, but you are citizen. When hunger comes, you will not say Soya man paso, police man paso. Everybody be hungry. Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you read Linford is we can see 70-year-old our dads and our dads and mother walking down the street of Monrovia begging people for money. It's happening, and these are the people that voted for this government. Poor people. Then you think about the disabled people before, those who cannot fetch for themselves. It's just bad. Yep. And he came on this thing that no Liberian be spectator in their own country. Then in the end, the day you go in office, you started building mansion for yourself. Then how the people, where the money come from? Money come and goes. He spent what? He left, he went to Qatar. And Yaka Koruba said over $2 million that he carried with him. But then the people on the ground there to get food, they jumping over fence. They can't eat. This Christmas, some people not even have food on Christmas Day.
Can you imagine Christmas? Yeah. Paul, go back our days. Go back. Don't go too fine in 70s, but yeah, from the 80s. Even after the military coup, Christmas, the military coup was in April 1980. 1980, that's in year the Christmas was good. People didn't go around begging. No. See, so what really hurts me is if we have war or some big crisis, okay, we say, oh yeah, we understand. But this is a normal government that was elected, yeah? And this government is receiving money from outside. So why do they do this? Is it because they just decided to, like Paul said, this is our time to chop? And you see, all of the people that came in this government, they were all people like you and myself, ordinary people, poor people. Some of them who had it for. But look at them. Look at them today and compare yourself. And those of the young people, they can get on my nerves. Some of us, we are level, we get history to tell, but you got no history. Your history depends on your future. Okay? And you sit there, you doing muya, you backing people who are stealing away your future, and then sooner or later you'll be 20, 25, 30, 40 years old, and you got no history to tell. This is disturbing.
It is disturbing.
We think that Liberians should stand up for the right cause. They should stand up to do the right thing. And you're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for yourself. Let me tell you, if Liberia becomes good, who will enjoy it? All of us. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's time to wake up.
Before you wrap up, I just want to quickly say something with regard to what's happening in that country. You were talking about you are not boasting or showboating. You're saying that we are not suffering in terms of food. If you look at it in this country, where in the West, where people can't even afford for their own food, in this winter season, the cold season, people are coming out there raising money for them. They are really living their life, giving them warm food, meal, going out there, giving them warm bed to sleep on. Those are the people that can't even afford themselves. You can't even afford for yourself. Can you help somebody else? That's the situation we have in our country. This thing is from our bottom of our heart, Liberians. Wherever you are, you're listening to us. This is a serious issue. And if you look at it, what happened, we're not even talking about asking the House of Legislature to impeach George Weah because he has violated the Constitution on so many occasions. Now, if you look into what's happening now in South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa is being questioned whether he could be impeached because they saw like $580,000 in his farmhouse. So for that, the House of Representatives is asking to have him to be impeached. Just the 580,000 was found in his house in South Africa. That's the South African president. Then the House of Legislature asking for him to be impeached. And now I'll continue of billions of Liberian dollars or millions of US I can get missing. Nobody's speaking about it. So where are we talking about? The system is like we talk about this. We're not even asking the president to be impeached. We're not asking to be overthrown. We're asking the Liberian people to tell him to do the right thing. The government should do the right thing. So we are not speaking of ANC or C people. We're saying go and tell George Weah and his people that they are not helping our people. Show your concern. Wear that T-shirt. Go out there. I think there will be some transportation available for some people. T-shirts will be available. Use this and tell them it's your right, your birthright, as they call it, constitutional right, to tell the government of Liberia, this thing is too much. We have had enough. We want food. We want good roads. We want hospitals. We want education for our people. We want from the farm to the market roads. When they're going to do that? After 6 years? So we want the right thing to be done. So this is the time. So somebody has to take the lead. This is the reason CPB is taking the lead, because it's been going on for almost 6 years. Nobody's talking. And we will get there. Nobody's talking. So we have to speak for you. We may, like my colleagues just said, you may not speak because you're sitting there. Somebody will come after you. Nobody's going to come after us. Yeah, we will speak for you. Yeah, we'll tell you the right thing from our heart. We need that country to get in the right place. So this is you should please tell your friends, if you're not able to go, tell other people that are willing to go out there and show your feeling. That's your right. Nobody should scare. Nothing going to happen to you.
And all of the rallies and the protests that CDC had demanding President Johnson to step down, and even they bring back our money rally, those were impossible things. To just move in the street and tell the president to calm down is impossible. That struggle. To the money got missing, the container got missing, and then we go in the street, we say, bring our money back. We know it was impossible. We will not put our money in the container and cancel it in the street. But they all rally that easy one. You're not asking for anything. Just go tell the person, look at my stomach, we're suffering. Look at the clothes I'm wearing.
My children are going to school.
So they want easy. They want back, you're not going to tell Joe we have to get that. You're not asking Joga to bring money back. They want easy.
You're asking me to fix the country.
Yeah,
so you're not asking monkey to come and tell you monkey to bring food.
Yeah, it was his music. Monkey calm down.
Okay, bring the banana.
Yes.
No, Babu will do, no, Monkey Mokana Babu will do the job.
Yeah,
Now,
Babu
let
is in charge
Babu
now,
bring the
right?
food now. Where's the music? So you have music play for?
This is the easiest of the rallies or protests they've been having. Like,
So what you're saying,
very
for?
easy.
Let Babu bring the food.
They were very easy. So you get ready and let's go. So if our in library, in fact me, I'll be there. So but it's just that the distance and then we got engagements. But this is the best we can do. We'll talk for you and we'll lead you. We'll tell you what to do. Go there, like my colleague said, nothing will happen to you. They just administrate. Let me put in the simple English. The third beamer for all the police people. You call him Minister Musa Dean. That man can tell police people say your go Muno people or your go Galo people.
That man president now.
Yeah. In fact, he's the president and said we are now in the country. So our old people, that man, he get too much power. That man say the police people will be there that day. They will go, they will stand and be watching. Nobody will point finger at you. Nobody will push you. You go, you wear a t-shirt. If you want to sing, you sing. You want to dance, you dance. Anything you want to do, you will do it peacefully. Nobody will hammer you.
Because they are not throwing stone, they are not doing anything, just saying what they're
nobody will throw that. The police will be
there.
So
the police will there to protect you, to save you.
Nobody will do anything. So you go there, you're going easy. You wear a t-shirt, you get t-shirt, say, you stand up, you listen to what the people for the protest will say. They say, you say hey. Anything they say, you'll do it.
But they themselves will be speaking. They can walk to the market and tell them.
If you market woman and you're selling flour, you used to buy one flour and make plenty color and get some money. But this time when you buy the flour, in fact, the money you used to make from one bag of flour, this time you can make that money from 5 bags of flour. That means you got to sell 5 bags of flour before you can make that same money you're making from 1 bag of flour. Go to the microphone and say, hey, Papa, we don't want to let you, but they want a hard now. The country hard. Just go and say what in your mind. You're not going through rat. You're not going to help nobody. So our old people will telling you now, you'll go there. That easy protest. And not nobody will fight anybody. You might not be scared, yeah?
The rally will go on. It will be peaceful. It will be successful. Over 100,000 Liberia will turn out. Right. Yeke Koluba has promised if he have less than 3,000, he will not go. So the overall alone, he's taking up to 4,000. Marticula is taking 10,000 from. They are targeting 100,000, and people will speak out.
Paul, let me get. I'm not continuing. Let me tell you one thing. Liberian people we are like this. Some people will just be saying that they rather they want to go, but they want to see what will happen for it.
Exactly.
The 500 people pass. Then 200 people come pass. Oh, but my man, I go you. When you go low, in fact, they'll be listening to radio. When they know after like 10 minutes, all the group now get there, no confusion, nothing they say. My man, all going. That rally will be very big. Trust me.
It will be packed. It will be
big. Yeah. The fact that everybody is catching hard and that rally will be big. Trust me.
And the good thing is to those who don't want a rally to go on, they promoting it more.
Yeah.
As they keep promoting it, keep going after Lewi Brown, the people now, the momentum is keep building, and then the other people say, y'all go. So then the acting president said the people have the right, and he gave them permission. He authorized the police. It will be peaceful. They will go. People will show up.
The president's peaceful. The president finished saying it. So who are you to say you can't go?
Exactly.
Okay, guys. So
before you go, listen, guys. Let the people tell. Paul, listen, sorry, boss, for interrupting you. To also add up to that, we are saying where should go. The boss man himself, who is head of the CPP, will be there because Mr. Cummings himself will be there right in that group. So he can't tell you to go. He will be there taking that lead. So you're not telling the children go out there and tell the people that we are hungry. He also will be there. All the big people in the political party, the politicians, they will be ahead of the group. They are not afraid. So don't say that we send you out there, they are going. Mr. Cummings will be there. All those big people that are calling the Lewi Brown will be there. The George Whistler will be there. Mr. Sando Johnson will be there. Other top people can't name you. Musa Ability will be there. Everybody will be there. So it's not only you alone going there.
Just to add on the Musa Ability, send a letter to the Air Force resident the US embassy, the EU, informing all of them of this rally that it will be peaceful, and they want to hold the government feet to a fire so people can go, that the insurance is there. They have informed all of the donors, their partners, that the rally going to go on. It's going to be a peaceful rally. So it'll be good for people to go out there. There'll be plenty of water around the place. It'll be almost like a carnival atmosphere. You just go and express yourself. So no one should be afraid. It's time that they go and say what in their heart, what they've been, the suffering they've been going through, yet they express it. So the rally will be good.
So what you guys doing? I think we're raising some money to send so bad water for them on the road. Those who will be tested or trained.
Oh yeah. There will be water. There will be
water. So if you're tested, you're walking after the SKD student walking home. You don't have car. People will be there giving you water.
Yeah, they have transportation that will take people to them.
I think I don't want the program planner. I mean, or the rally planner, they are very smart. They are telling you that water will be there. But they want to tell you that smart will be there for you to buy, because so they know they will not just get you water. So when they say water, you want, like brother say, "My man, come to my house, I'll get you water." You know everything inside. So I want to believe that there will be small thing. Even that time we said something will be there to buy them. So
or plenty chips or something to keep your test. So something will be around. There will be a good atmosphere. People will go there.
It'll be like singing and dancing. So people will be dancing. And after that rally, some people always say, "You don't have one more rally again."
And the rally starts from 10 o'clock in the morning. People will be heading there and finish at 5. So people have plenty of time.
So nobody's going to keep you there late for you to be dinner for you in there. So there will be buses. If you're in the Pagopin area or in the Omega area, the bus can pick you up. It drive you. That bus will be parking there after. The rally, you'll get on your bus, you'll go back. Nobody will tell you, find your own way to go home. No. So there will be transportation. Okay, I know. Yeah, you want to add again? I know.
No. The thing is, the president at the summit, he said something about the diaspora. It's something about how he had passed a law that once you're Liberian, you'll always be a Liberian. But then I just wanted us to listen to it, just few clips.
Yeah, really.
You can take something from it, because he talking about the diaspora, and then there's election coming. They refuse for us to vote in the diaspora. So how he gonna? So I just want you guys to listen. It's not ready. It's just few clips. So this is the first one.
Liberia has a long and historic relationship with the United States, which has led us to having common positions on issues such as democracy, human rights, global peace and security. We hold the views that this summit will strengthen our partnership and increase our commitment to foster strong cooperation in seeking the broad interests of our respective countries, in particular, and the world at large. Liberia believes that such engagement between Africa and the United States will improve and strengthen bilateral and multilateral relationships, foster peace and security on the continent of Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with millions of African descendants and migrants in the diaspora, there is no doubt that this is a vast reservoir of talent, training, expertise, and financial capacity which must and should be utilized to enhance the advancement and development of our continent. This collaborative effort will serve as the bridge connecting Africans in the diaspora back to their collective roots and cultural identities. It is therefore our responsibility as leaders to recognize and acknowledge the significance of these many millions of our compatriots living in the diaspora communities, whose contributions are necessary for the growth and development. In recognition of the value of our Liberian diaspora community, at the inception of my administration nearly 5 years ago, I embark upon the process of removing restrictive laws to encourage the Liberian diaspora to contribute more to the development of our country. Today, I'm pleased to inform you that in July this year, I signed into law an act authorizing dual citizenship and allowing women to pass citizenship to their children. By so doing, our administration has now removed all legal barriers which had prevented natural-born Liberians from rightfully resuming citizenship of the land of their ancestors. Once a Liberian, always a Liberian.
Begubel is strong.
Bakubel, Bakubel, look, to be honest, his English have improved.
Yeah.
His reading getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend is doing something amazing. But something I want you guys to pick on about the dual citizenship. Once you're Liberian, you're born as a Liberian, you die as a Liberian. So we have the dual citizenship now that been passed into law. So election coming, not many people from the diaspora will be able to go home. So why is it that the diaspora that he believes in so we can vote?
Maybe Jamel will go first.
Yeah, Paul, I think that is not has to do with George Weah. That had a lot of things involved in terms of the voting of diaspora. He has it's capital intensive. Yeah, he has a lot of structure involved. A lot of resources need to be involved. Voting out there as diaspora, the government have to. Let me take you an example where you need to have like every political party must have a representative at a certain point at the police station or whatever it is. That's one. Can they afford to bring that representative to those areas? The government need to identify an area where that is not the embassy, but a specific area. That will require a lot of money. So, I mean, he's saying it now. It doesn't just probably in the near future that will come into actions. But what he's saying now is is one step ahead. There are many ways that will be that could be resolved. But
You muted.
I say under the leadership of George Weah, we don't see it foreseeable. It's not like because he wanted people to vote. It's like they don't even have the resources to manage it right now. It requires a lot of stuff to allow the diaspora to vote. Few countries in Africa allow the diaspora to vote. It's a country like South Africa. Guinea may have done other countries, but how much count do their vote take into account? People, the votes don't even get to the country before it gets there after all the countings been done. So it requires a lot of transportation of those voters, stuff like that. So I don't think it's about trying to win the house of diaspora. This has been going on for a long time, Paul. So yeah, for me, critically, it got a lot to do with how do you say? They have a lot to do with winning the house of diaspora. Like I can applaud that as one step ahead for the Liberian government to allow the citizen to be saved. I mean, but there are other factors involved. Are there some limitations to it? We didn't go in detail, just say they're allowed to be citizens, but there are some limitations we did not specify.
So Lingford, once you're Liberian, you're born as a Liberian, you die as a Liberian. So your kids now, they don't need visa to go to Liberia. So just be aware because they have not reached 18 years and they are Liberians. So the day you travel, ready to travel, don't let the embassy eat your money on by giving the issue and visa. So what your take on this, Lingford?
Let me agree with Jamel, and let me also admit that this is a landmark achievement for the Weah administration. I remember the first time I ever heard about the dual citizenship, that was around 2005, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason I got interested in it was that it was my childhood friend and close neighbor who grew up together, Emmanuel Weti in America. They were all pushing for this thing. And when my late friend here in Norway, another childhood friend, we went to school together, and were here. He received this thing and he said, "My man, look at the thing. As usual, we'll argue on small thing, we'll argue and disagree." Then I said, "My man, but why I do it? Dual citizenship? We just can get people, you come up to it, we argue." And then when I went through the list, then I saw somebody organized with tea. I said, "Oh, but this is my childhood friend." That's why I got interested. And I was one of the first signatories from that, from 2005. And this thing I've been dragging on for long, and for we are administration to pass it. So let me say kudos to him for that. And but let me agree with Jamel that this is, for me, the dual citizenship thing is in the embryonic stage. It's like the chicken laying the egg. Okay, it got to hatch, and the chicks got to walk. So I agree that we in the diaspora may be anxious to vote, but there is a lot of things to put in place. No, you cannot be here, and let's consider that the voting process in Liberia is still going to be the traditional one, where you got to check the candidate on the paper like this. So let's consider that because the biometric system has not been put into place. So how are you going to vote? You can't be in London and they send the people to you, you check it and send it back. No, or unless you go on the ground. And the moment you get on the ground, whether you get dual citizenship or not, you are Liberian, you go vote. You can register and vote. That's kind of the question. So, but to make it official, where you can live anywhere in the world and vote, we need a lot of things. First, you need a database of all diaspora Liberians. And you also need a database for the voters in Liberia. So it's a lot of things. It's a complex thing to put together. You see, you live in England, English people can be in America, they can be in New Zealand, they can be anywhere and vote. It's not just yesterday. That's something that they have worked on for years. Norwegians there can be anywhere and vote. Okay? So we need to give time to it to get the proper system working. That's the only way we'll do the right thing, or else anybody can sit down anywhere and vote. I can recruit down a Norwegian and say, "Come vote," because you don't know who's voting. If you get
but it doesn't work at that Linford. So
that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We need a system to get into place. What system do we have now? If you want to vote, you vote. If you want to vote in the election, what system do you have to vote?
No, so what I'm saying, this guy, listen. I'm not saying now. Well, say if he championed the diaspora, then this thing has been sworn into our constitution of Liberia in a diaspora. They can vote. They call it absentee ballot. This is something he been there for years. So saying he championed the diaspora affair, but question: when will he start looking at?
I think let's be frank. I think from the beginning of your conversation, I heard you to say, why is he denied, or why is he not?
Why is it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Not that he's that, but he doesn't have a choice. Let me tell you, he approved the bill, though, but he doesn't have a choice. If the system was in place, he does not have a choice to say who can vote or who cannot vote.
Oh, okay? So how long? You see, the thing about system is not a difficulty in the put system in place. Now, the reason why it takes time, but it doesn't take 4 or 5 years to do. So the reason why I'm saying this, we're talking about this rally that is going on. To have a database set up by somebody, myself, or anyone who into IT that can do it, it wouldn't take 6 months. Sierra Leone done it. On my bill, the people voting now. Guinea next to doing it. So this thing does not take long, and the people have been advocating for long that the diaspora need to have the person. Before you guys come in, because if in the UK here we have a Liberian embassy, it's the embassy. Listen now, you talk about database, right? We're trying to Ghanaians do it here. So if our neighboring country doing it, what different that they applying that we can't do that? I have to take out 10 years before we can.
No, this is you talking about like
Lever, can I come in? Paul, I understand. There are two sides of it. For instance, let's look at it like, okay, he tried to use it to win the vote or the heart of Liberian in the diaspora, which is not going to work because we know it's a failed government. Whatever he's doing right now to announcing his speech at the U.S. Africa Summit that he wants, this is what he's done, they're clapping for him. It's not going to work. It's going to change the situation for Liberia in the diaspora. It has been a system. But let's be very honest here. Let's give him the credit for the fact that under Ellen, let's give him understand. Let's be realistic here. The Ellen government for the past 12 years did not manage to get this out. 12 years, Ellen run that government, they did not pass into law that the right of dual citizenship did not happen. So under George, we have 5 years, he allowed it to happen. That's credit. That's honest. Let's be honest here. That's
I agree. I gave him that. I agree.
Yeah, but that's why we say we now. Let's be honest with what we're saying. That's why we speak here. We speak our hearts. It's not. He did that. Only 5 years. He allowed it pass into law. You can become. The details need to be explained, right? That's one. Second to that, the other issue we're looking at right now is he willing to win the hearts of Liberian in the diaspora? No, because things are not going to change. The suffering still continue. That's the two things we're looking at. But when you're talking about how long will it take, what is a lot of resources involved to get people in the diaspora to vote compared to Liberian situation? We don't have the finance. Look at what we are going through right now. There are capital resources, financial resources, other resources are involved to put our voting out together in order for you and myself to be able to vote or our votes to be counted in Liberia. It requires a lot. So we shouldn't just sweep it on the carpet that it's going to take 6 months or 2 months to get this thing done. Say, I don't vote.
No. What I'm saying, because in Liberia, when people say, let's give time, you're talking about 10, 20 years because we Liberians could have given time.
First look at it. So first look at the foundation of the country. For the country does not even have a structure. Leadership is struggling. How do you expect him to come and put a diaspora together and vote for you? It will take him ages. You're not even handling the situation back home properly. They worry about coming, put some resources outside of diaspora to vote. He doesn't have the money, doesn't have the structure. That's fine. So what I'm trying to say here, 2 ways out. He was doing that. He put in a speech to win the House of Liberia in the diaspora. Well, fine, thank you. But it's not going to change the situation in terms of where we want to go in terms of voting. But if it comes to credit, he did well in the first 5 years to pass into law that we be dual citizenship. That did not happen on Ellen. For 12 years, we all claim without Emmanuel Weti and other Liberians in the diaspora have been fighting for long years, asking for this to happen. And Joshua passing in the first 5 years, he takes that credit. But now it also requires a lot. It requires a lot, to be honest, for you and myself vote to be counted. Listen, what you may see happening here, Sierra Leone, Guinea, other countries, those votes are cosmetics. They are not. Sometimes they don't even count there. You saw the vote they carry, they don't even count there. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. If you go to Africa, those vote. You know why it pass through the embassy. And the embassy is the government representative. Do you want your vote to pass through the embassy? You tell me. It doesn't work like that. So your vote is passing through the embassy to go to the government to be counted.
All vote pass through the embassy. You don't expect.
No. There should be a special system set up. No, it doesn't work like that.
So you said something earlier that every party have a representative, and the way it's structured, that's the absentee ballot. They have a commissioner in each of the embassy that specialize that do it. So when voting account is count, they send it electronically, and then the actual paper is posted. So that's what I'm saying. So if it passes through the embassy, you will have representative there. So how long does this take for this to happen? How long?
Because we don't have the resources. We don't have the resources. That's why it will take long. We don't have the resources.
I believe in things being done properly.
We don't have the resources.
You know, you can't do things haphazardly, and then at the end of the day, you don't achieve anything. Okay, we struggle with this dual citizenship for years. If Georgia administration passes it and it's approved, fine. Why can't we, wait until you already know that this administration is not up to the task? So why you want to do something that might even benefit them, that might not benefit you? So we wait until a good government. They had the poor constructor. Listen to me.
Now that bring it. A good government. My man, that can business Italy wait until a good. So if that guy win the next election at 12-year rooming, so wait.
Then you can start.
Sure, you're gonna win.
I just see this if.
Okay, tell me. Okay, wait. Let me make it simple. Let's say next election, Mr. Cummings win. You think Mr. Cummings will get to the dual citizenship automatically like that? No. You have to take time to put into system.
I didn't say you won't take time. The question is how long? Because when Liberian said
nobody can attach time land to
that's
it.
what I'm saying. How long?
Well, yeah, but nobody can attach time land. Okay, let me ask you.
What are the priorities of the government right now? Looking at the Liberian situation.
Okay.
Priorities
I know you want me to play devil's advocate, but I will try. The priority of the government right now. If you ask me,
I'm asking you, Honorable, the Lord Portugal play. What is the government priority? Let's consider ABC wins next election. What will be his main priorities? First on the list.
Cool. The priority for all Liberians and to resolve the bread and butter issue for all Liberians.
Just five specific things that you think you will look into.
Well, we got to look at health, education, infrastructure, agriculture. Those are all.
That's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
So you think you forgot what about education? Why you didn't put election something in the middle? Somewhere around in the
Why you didn't put dual citizenship?
No, you're talking about Liberia, but I'm talking about diaspora. I'm not in Liberia. I'm in the diaspora. So wait, let me finish. Give me chance, let me learn. I brought about the diaspora a fair business.
It doesn't mean I get control over it.
I don't have control over it. So the question is, how long and when? Because he itself, now Mr. Cummings, is also advocating for the diaspora to have a scene. So that means it will be on his agenda as well.
Let me ask one question.
Advocating.
Yeah, let me ask one question. If Mr. Cummings takes over, in the first 2, 3, 4 years, he's not thinking about elections. He's thinking about priorities to develop the country, to solve the bread and butter issue. Election for every government, for every ruling government, even the opposition, when elections are the last 2 years before election, that's when they all start getting active. Okay, so
no. I think you only, because there's 2 different elections before the presidential election. So remember,
there's I'm not talking about by-election. We're talking about presidential election. We're talking about by-election. So the president knows that you'll be there for 6 years.
So when in a diaspora, you cannot vote into the by-election.
No, you're not understanding me.
Only presidential election.
Who facilitates the voting of diaspora people voting? It's the government. Okay, the government system that facilitates that. But the government manage the diaspora or whatever. By-elections will take place, people will win. But the bigger picture is the presidential, the general elections. Now, I'm telling you, every president, their first year, their second, their third year, same with their 6 years, the first, second, third year, no president of Liberia is thinking about election. Their priority will be to fulfill their promises to the electorates, okay, by doing what they promise. Now, the last 2 years before they can start actually going into the electoral thing. So you think if Mr. Cummings win, you will say, okay, let me start putting something together for I call it the appropriate people to vote. No.
Why not? You said process. Y'all just said it. Why not?
Yeah, but that's why I'm telling you that you don't expect Joshua now to put that system into place now. No, it will take time.
Consider he wants to do it. He doesn't have any the resources.
Yes.
Does not have. We're struggling with even getting rice into the country. That's number one.
We struggle to get rice into the country, but we see people buying private jet. We see people bidding for the media.
Yes, so don't
bring that one into play, because this is where
they're corrupt. That has nothing to do with
that one makes a failed leader. That's why we have an issue. Why you did this? I like the argument you are bringing. Why now? Because why are you wasting time? You're wasting money on your personal self instead of prioritizing it. Fine, good. But the thing is, we know that he failed already. There's no way you and myself will see that happening on his very eyes. He's not going to do it. He just talk about
that's
it.
What I'm telling you.
It's not because he's just trying to win some vote or credit abroad. That I've done. You see people clapping for him during the summit. But they didn't tell people the details. Whether you have some right, your rights are limited. That's what I've been saying. You know that.
This whole diaspora thing of Chimara, let me just ask more to what he said. This whole diaspora thing, Joshua just passing to law, it was approved. Okay, it's the next government now that will set the whole thing up to even negotiate with foreign. No, I'm a Norwegian. Norway had dual citizenship, so it's easy for me to be Norwegian and Liberian at the same time. And even be American if I want to. Now, as a Norwegian citizen, I can want to be Norwegian. I mean, American, I just need to apply. Okay, sorry, easy. But there are other countries where there are Liberians living that do not have dual citizenship. So the next government now will begin to negotiate, this process with other countries, because some Liberians will now want to relinquish their citizenship they got in those countries that do not accept dual citizenship easily. Okay, so it's a government, so it's a long process. It's not something that you just jump on because Joria said that dual citizenship, all the other countries agree. No.
My man, how long? That's the question. We all need to think.
Nobody
We all
can.
need to
Okay,
think.
for you,
We
what is your
all need to
president? How
think
long will
on
you
it.
take? Let
Because
me ask you,
when
is your
when
president, is your Joria, how long will it take for you to do it?
it will be part of my, if our president or run to be president or Joria for the next
No, you
coming
are
year.
Joria now. You have 1 year in office.
Oh, if our Joria now,
yeah,
implementation start in the next 6 months.
You see,
What
you
do
are
you
bad
think?
leader.
Anyway, Paul.
But you asked me if our Joria
Paul,
now, I gave my answer. So
Paul,
I said you'll be worse than Joria.
why would you do that? What do
I'm
you
gonna
think?
leave it, brother, man. The brother
Paul,
not do it best.
Paul? So you think he got votes in the diaspora?
no, he does not have vote in the diaspora. That why he won't do it.
Don't worry.
No,
That's
man,
it.
there are a lot of sedition in the diaspora. That one I agree with you.
No, the vote
you see?
comparative to today. Today. If you really carry on something, I'm telling you, he's not going to go anywhere in terms of voting in the diaspora. He's just, I don't care how popular he is in the diaspora. He's not going to win it.
Okay, that we don't want to drag it there.
Yeah.
Our time is fast.
Anyway, yes, his time is up.
There was something I wanted us to talk about. There was something I wanted to talk about to take us home, but we will not spend a long time. Maybe we can just need 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes at most. What would be the message now? The campaign message, the focus of the campaign message for CPP, ANC, fast forward. If you are on the campaign team, Chimai, what would be your focus?
Liberian people, vote George, we're out. We want a better government. CPP government will come in and solve your problem. We will bring you rice. We'll face your road. We'll give you a good hospital. We'll give job to the youth. We'll give a microphone to women that want to do businesses. We'll send children to school. We'll be looking after you for the next 12 years.
I'm a voter. You're talking to me. Then I'll ask you a question. I'll tell you this. All the other people promised us that they didn't do it.
Because they didn't know because we elected the wrong people. This is we have the right people to do the job for you. You got the right people because they don't have the right character. They don't have the skills. They don't have the means. They don't have the connection. They just want to steal. That's all they did. They've done it the first 5 years. That's the message.
How can we trust you?
We've seen my record. What I've been doing for over the years. Whatever we told you, we've been doing it. We didn't change we've been on the same road since we started 6 years ago. 5 years ago. We've been telling you this is the same. We're doing it. We'll be doing it. This is what we are here to do. To tell you you're suffering. We want to enter your suffering. We want you to join us.
You know, in a government position in your country, you just come in. So how
we got people with us that have been holding government position. They have shown records that they can do it better. And with me, other people will bring people that got the right skills and the right experience that will join us to do the job for you.
Okay. Jima was in Bongonima campaigning. Paul, you are in Bongonjide. Tell me, why you think, what will be your campaign focus?
Liberia lack managers, and my managerial skills are bringing into practice. This is
not
where
company. Liberia is not a company.
Forget it. Whether it's government, manager.
You'll not be running campaign. Do you tell people, listen now?
Ask me. I'm trying to tell you now, the country lack leaders, and I bring my managerial skills. Hospital. I will go to hospital. I will face GFK that when I'm sick, I won't go to Ghana. So when you sick, you go to GFK. No more child will be setting cold water on the street. That child will be in school. This is because the future of Liberia depends on those children. Instead of them setting cold water, being in garage at the age of 7, it will not happen under our stewardship. Market women. If you're in a market, there's no toilet in a market, but under my administration, there will be a daycare, there will be a toilet in that place for you to look after while you're selling. Those are the things, those are the priority. And that's the message I'll be telling them.
In addition to Paul, Finney, I'll add to what you said.
Yeah. Students will not be bribing teacher because they will have better teacher to teach our children. From 1st grade to 12th grade, the children will have quality free education. This is the kind of Liberia we want.
And And on top of that, civil servant, if we will give you $50, you got $50 on time. We're not doing any harmonization here. If you are teachers, if you are qualified, we'll pay you according to your qualification and experience. Not only that, we'll make sure we create money, a bank for people that are doing farming. We encourage your own to grow your own food. Special bank like our Library Agricultural Bank will re-improve that to make sure that we put some money in there, those into farming. We help them, support them to grow our own food in this country. We don't want to depend wholly 100% on outside to give our food. Well, that's a key of our government. This is what we're going to do for you. We also make sure that we make education free for all the 12th graders. We'll make them free. We'll make sure teachers get well paid, all the equipment in the school. Hospitals will make sure also sure that every county, each quarter has at least a health center. A health center that will do referral.
As of photo, I will ask you, my children are in 12th grade, in first grade. You see, the person in 12th grade, you go from 9th grade, at least you have to make decisions. Some office can look at you and employ you while you going to school. You can even be working and pay your school fee. But yeah, my son in ABC, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, why you can't help him? You're going to help them way the 12th grade up.
No, the thing is
ABC the 12th grade Linford.
No, listen, I'll help them because we'll make sure that the first and foremost, the parents, if the parents are well off, we'll find a system the parent got better, or they will not depend on the children saying to go sell cold water, like my colleague said. What we're going to do is make sure that school, the first teachers need to get paid, and the school got equipped, the right equipment in the school. Children, you can't post job based in the children mind at the age of 1 year, 12 to 1st grade. We want to encourage you to go to school. We want to make the environment comfortable for you to be able to learn. If teachers are getting a pay on time, the school got the right equipment, they got the right tools, we will make sure that school had a good environment and they will learn. So the children have to worry. The parent won't be saying them to go sell color on the road to be able to feed them. When the parents are doing something, they're happy. That's the help we'll give to the parent to support their kids. That's what we're going to do. And we'll make sure that every time and that we encourage continued teacher training program, so to update our teachers so that our students can be up to date with the West African students.
Well, good campaigners.
That's a message. The people need to understand. That's a message. We need to tell them the right story. And that's the thing. How are we going to do that? Give her the first 2 years.
For those that have been stealing our money, you face the law. And when you are found guilty, you'll be sent to post-stacking and will seize your property. That's the campaign message.
And we will give job to do qualify. We're not going to give the job to you because you're my cousin. I'm not giving job to you because you're from my same tribe. We are in the same church. Or we in the same club. It's not about that. If you qualify in your Liberia, we got a record, we check you.
You muted.
You can be my cousin, but you have to go through the process all a Liberian goes through. So that's the process. We may not be 100%. We are human beings. We are not perfect. We'll do our best to solve the issue with the problem we have. We know Liberian people problem. We need to provide job for the youth. We call it youth employability. We need to do that. Make sure we create more vocational school for our children, our people. The disadvantaged boys and girls on the street, called Zogo, we got to show, that's our major concern. We got to make sure the benefit for our social welfare system putting up. We have to increase the mental health facility in the country, because if you look, every one of us are crazy. We have to improve that psychological system of our system. We went through 14 years of war. We have issue. We have to bring the right tools, the expertise to help us to change the mind of our people, to make sure they respect one another, and we all live together as brothers and sisters. How do we do that? We pour in money into that area so the expertise will come and teach our Liberians to take control. We want to make sure Liberians grow their own food. Key number one. We're not putting $15 million behind food and professors. We're not bringing Indian professors. If they come, the maximum spend 6 months, like in Thomas Technical College, how they call it. They are paying up to how many million to Indian professor to take over the university. We want to train. We got too many Liberians outside that are well educated engineers, so we can bring them home and to try them to come home and provide them facility. Likewise, the health workers want to build all those clinic health center. We're building all the quarters, every county, every quarter in the county. We have a health center, a referral center. If you have headache, malaria, you won't go straight to the hospital. You go to the community health center before you've been referred to the hospital. So it will not put a burden on the hospital Those are a system we're talking about. Called primary health care. We'll establish it, and this is our program. And I think this is what Cummings has also. We've got a lot for Liberia. They will benefit a lot, Linfo. That's the message. It's clear.
Very good.
Okay. It's time, Linfo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we've exhausted everything, and it was a good show from my end. We need to do these things every time. Play on the minds of the people with the message and let them understand, because we are in a campaign period. I mean, take it or leave it. In as much as the election has been delayed, I mean, all the processes have been delayed. One day we'll still have elections, so we need to start the work earlier. Freedom man gets on a parable. They say if you have to carry a cow, be clean and carry. Don't let it caca on yourself. So while we have time, while the election is being delayed, it's time to preach. And don't wait until the last time you want to make your pea fat for the market. So I want to say thank you guys very much. The time is fast spent. Paul, I think you need to play that with Taya Suffering jingle, and that's how we're going to take you home, folks. Thanks for being with us. My name is Linford Goy, and we got Paul Chulu in the UK and Jamaica Kamara also in the UK. And we'll do our best to sit here every Tuesday and Saturday to bring you some information regarding Liberia. And as we give our views, we hope that you make sense out of the things we talk, and share the video to your friends and invite them next time we come here. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Yes. And Linfo is the first Liberia aristocrat is Lord Chodope. Remember that. So on that note, I will play this with Taya Suffering music.
Sophie, with Taya, Sophie, with Taya.
Yes.
To show you will not win. Under my leadership as President of the Republic of Liberia.
Retire with their lies, retire with their promises.
I am running for President to put an end to your tears and your pains and suffering.
Retire with their lies, retire with their promises.
No more will you go to the hospital and be rejected due to lack of money under my presidency.
Retire with their lies, retire with their promises.
No more will you go to bed hungry due to the lack of food under my leadership as president.
Retire with their lies, retire with their promises.
Certain ethnic groups feel that second-class citizens in this country